So I was invited to judge a residents' research contest in one hospital. I reviewed their papers and listened to their presentations, and during the latter part of the activity, I noticed that I had one favorite question to ask almost all the presenters. Why did you do this thing as part of your study? And while the specifics were different across researchers, I asked the same question to almost all the researchers because of a fundamentally simple yet easy to take for granted observation across the different presentations. One or more aspect of their research, whether it was a symptom, intervention, analysis, or more commonly conclusion, were not related to and did not answer any of their verbalized research objectives. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the lecture on research question and research objectives. Here's the outline of the lecture. Before we begin the formal session, let's try to review what research is. There are several ways of answering the question, what is research? Research is a systematic process to answer a question, a logical attempt to find answers to problems, a scientific attempt towards new discoveries, a systematic study of cause versus effects, a systematic method of inquiry, or a scientific attempt to discover the truth. Now, there are key synonymous terms that kept appearing from my previous statements. These are systematic or scientific, as well as question or inquiry. So let's now define research as a systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of data in order to answer a question. We also have two general types of research. You have your basic and applied research. Now, the scientific community and even the public nowadays are more acknowledging of applied research because this type of research has very practical and visible usability. A research protocol is a detailed plan outlining the objectives, methodology, procedures, and timeline of a research study. It serves as a roadmap for conducting the research, ensuring that all aspects of the study are carefully planned and executed in a systematic manner. At this point, we won't discuss the specific format of a research protocol since different funding agencies or institutions have some slight preferences as to the format of their specific research protocol. Let's start the formal session by going directly to the end and being a bit philosophical. Ask yourself, why am I doing research in the first place? Everyone has their own starting point in doing research. For doctors, our main goal should always be to improve the lives of our patients. But how exactly do we improve the lives of our patients? This could be in the form of determining the magnitude of a health problem, determining factors associated with a health problem, determining appropriate intervention in the form of evidence-based medicine, evaluating an intervention such as in clinical or drug trials, and even understanding what our patients go through with their disease. While we may have multiple specific reasons for doing research, all of these should only have one underlying reason, and that is to know the truth. Of course, on a practical side, there are multiple triggers for starting a research project. You should have handled an interesting case that you've seen in your clinical practice, for instance. There could be an ongoing hot button debate on your favorite podcast. There could be a hypothetical pandemic that caught everyone by surprise and that nobody knows anything about yet, or even as straightforward as your job demands it for promotional reasons. There are innumerable starting points for a research project, but you have to start somewhere. And that step is identifying your research topic. At this stage, you need to answer the question, what could my research be all about? As doctors, we can do research on a lot of aspects of clinical and public health practice. These include your parameters of health, risk of disease, outcomes of disease or even treatment, evaluation of these treatment protocols, just describing statistics or trends, or reporting interesting features of a particular case. However, when doing research, topic selection is very important, and we should think about this more systematically. We can take note of this Venn diagram, which I really like to help guide your search for a topic. What are the topics you know? You need some baseline knowledge or expertise in order to study a certain topic. This will affect the accuracy or soundness of your research. What are the topics that you love? You also need some level of interest in the topic because if you don't really care much about the topic, it will be brutal to conduct research on it. This will affect the feasibility of your research and may even play a role in the dissemination of your research down the road. And finally, what are the topics that the people around you care about? You need to care about things that other people care about. Otherwise, you're just doing research for your own benefit, which is a bad way to look at research, or at least at scientific research. This is where the overall relevance or even the ethical significance of your research will come into play. Often a research topic is a product of circumstance. When COVID hit, everyone did not know anything about it. So researchers were tasked to know more about the virus, presumably to figure out what's going on in order to help everyone else out, or because their superiors required them to, or just because they wanted to look smarter on Twitter. But in any case, if you can justify your choice of research based on a realistic introspection using this particular framework, then you're off to a good start. Okay, so you want specifics on what exactly you should do research about. Now, knowing a little bit of my audience, it would be safe to assume that most of you are at a certain educational, professional, and sociocultural station. I'm also assuming that everyone is smart and moral, so that takes care of the Venn diagrams topics you know and topics you love, respectively. So a good place to start looking is at topics your audience cares about. If you want to do a more public health aligned research, then the best source would be topics that the world cares about. Don't be afraid to go global. The Sustainable Development Goals have a rich list of what the world cares about. They even outline the specific indicators that need more research on, which will help you when you are at the stage of identifying your research variables. If you only want to go national, then you can try to look at the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda in the Philippines, which replaced the National Unified Health Research Agenda, or NURA, from 2022 onwards. This particular document here contains 193 pages of pure research topic fun. It contains very detailed information on different sectors that need research, specific gaps that need research on, even specific priorities per sector, and even per year. It also contains the budget allocation per topic per year, which helps identify priority topics that are better suited for possible funding and research grants. If you are still a bit hesitant to go large, you can start with what your institution needs so that you can tap into their resources as well. Each university or college or even non-academic institutions should have their own organizational research agenda. And lastly, you can also start within your own smaller clinical practice or even community or environment. If you want to do clinical research, then the best source would be topics that your patients care about. If you want to understand your community more, you can ask, what does my community care about? Now, sit down and have a listen. This is a very common question. Can I have more than one research topic? The short answer is no. The long answer is, it depends, but no. Of course, you can do studies on the association of one thing with a different thing or things, but always remember that there is only one main topic that should anchor all of the others in your list of things that you want to research about. Spare yourself the hassle and a poor research experience. Stick to one specific topic. Now that you have identified your research topic, your single research topic, then we proceed with the next step.